Here.
Mrs. Miller? Here. Mr. Piker?
Here.
Mr. Sarnes?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Dr. Yarnell?
Here.
Thank you very much. And in order to do this part of the business, we will have our Vice President, Mr. Demming, take the first part of the meeting in which we'll elect the temporary president.
I nominate for temporary president, I nominate Mr. Piper.
Okay, is there a second for that nomination?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Piper, you have it.
Thank you. I'd like to make now the call for nominations for our president to serve the term of 1 year. Is there any nomination for president?
Yes, I nominate David Thompson.
Okay. Do you have? Is there any other one?
I nominate Duane. Did you second that?
No, we do not need a second.
Technically, you don't need a second. You can entertain a second.
So we're okay without a second.
Okay with that.
So any other nominations?
I nominate Mr. Demming.
Okay, we have 2 nominations, so that I will do them in order. All those in favor of Mr. Thompson, please say aye.
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You got one. David.
I thought so. 1, 2, 4. No, that's fine. 4 for Mr. Thompson. All those in favor of Mr. Demming, say aye.
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 Hands up.
It appears to be 5. Mr. Demming? It appears that Mr. Demming is now the new president. I will now make the call for vice president. Is there any nominations for vice president?
Nominate Dr. Yarnell.
Okay, is there any other nominations for vice president?
I nominate Mr. Thompson.
Okay. All those in favor of Dr. Yarnell to be vice president?
Aye.
Aye.
Hands up.
I think it's all right.
And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. Then Dr. Yarnell is now the next vice president. And it appears that the nominations are closed and the election is closed. The shortest presidency on record.
More than a little bit surprised, honored, and we'll move ahead with the tonight's agenda. Council tells us that we do not need a call to order. We've already done the roll call, and we do not need a pledge of allegiance. I think I want to call on you, Dr. Fish, to do the student recognition.
As the board knows, we sent our powerlifting team to Las Vegas, and once again came back extremely successful. All right, let's introduce Coach Patterson, who has been one of the young ladies who competed. Coach Patterson.
That's the powerlifting of
the way I looked at this case in the beginning. For the second straight year, our team has won the awards. First off, it was unprecedented last year, that a whole team from one area was called to compete at the Worlds. So our whole team was invited. We have 45 of them. We took 12. We set 26 world records. All came back with gold. they were outstanding. They stole the show. They were the best in their class. Not only when you go to the Worlds do you compete with people in your age, own weight, but they went against open, which is 25 and above, 45 and above, and we won. Nothing but praise goes out to these kids. We work around everybody else's schedule. This is a 52-a-week sport. Their vacation is when they go on vacation, and that's their vacation. And hopefully they're lifting, because I checked. I would like to introduce them for your name, please.
Zachary Strauss.
Madison Jordan. Faith Knight. Rachel Huss. Samantha Brain.
CP. All of them that right here have world records. Yesterday, or this past weekend, we competed at the Northeast Regionals, which is from Maine all the way down, I guess, past Virginia. Once again, we set world records, 15 of them, to be exact. A lot of them were our own, that we just re-broke. Everyone in this room right now set them yesterday. We, once again, they stole the show. And I couldn't be more proud of them, and I hope the folks in this room couldn't be more proud. If you would give me just one more moment, we have this, I don't know, a handicapped child that used to pass down the hall every day, and I'd stop and I'd say, hey, how you doing? And every once in a while the kid would bring up his bicep for me. He's in a wheelchair. From here down, he has nothing. Well, one day he passed by and I asked him, hey, do you want to be on my powerlifting team? And it's the right thing to do, but the wrong thing. I should have asked his parents first, and I didn't. But that night I got a phone call. It was from his mother. And she was so grateful that I asked Johnny Hess is his name, to be on the team. Well, it was great being a father. It's great being the coach of a world powerlifting team. It's great being with these kids. But my proudest moment is watching these kids with Johnny. I mean, I have to pick them up, I put them on the bench. They attend to every need. They treat him like he's not handicapped. And I didn't know I could do it. But just watching my kids with him is unbelievable. I couldn't be more proud of him for it. That's one of the proudest moments. I like just watching these guys with this kid. And I didn't think I should have brought Johnny here. Yes, this past weekend, it's his first powerlifting meet. Kid's 87 pounds and benched 135 pounds with no use of his legs. But I'll tell you what, he brought I like to say it made his day, made his year. Guess what? It made his life. And without these kids' help, it couldn't have happened. This kid, joining this kid, when you saw him get his medal, was the most unbelievable thing I ever saw. And my hat goes off to these kids for all that help they do with it. And I thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.
It's about us, but I think everyone should know that with everything that he puts into this sport, at Worlds he received Coach of the Year by the 100% Raw Federation, and out of everyone there, he definitely deserves it because literally I could never see myself being trained by anybody else. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he knows us better than we know ourselves at times, and he just really deserved this award, and I'm really glad that he was recognized for all his hard work. So.
Great going. Thank you.
I'm gonna make a comment and hold the camera, okay? Hey Sam, good job.
Thank you. Sam.
It was on, no, we have it on. Guys, we can go.
Thank you, kids. Excellent job.
Right here,
Next item on the agenda is to hear from the who signed up for public comment tonight. First one on the list is Mr. Cranford.
There's no mic. I don't make this statement lightly. But on behalf of the Coalition for Better Pennridge and 200 families we represent, we call on Joe Mack to resign. And we do that because of his actions around the Bedminster parking lot. It seems that Mr. Mack took upon himself to direct a vendor, a contractor, to tear up the parking lot, repave it, which was incorrect. It then had to be torn up again and repaved again correctly. Now, some could say they applaud Mr. Mack's take charge attitude, whatever you want to call it. And actually, I would applaud that if it weren't for the next facilities meeting, where he turned around, instead of admitting the mistake and just saying, I'm apologizing for it, I'm sorry, he instead turns around and attacks Jeff Loeffler over here for his actions, which is just inexcusable. It's an embarrassment to the board, it's an embarrassment to the school district, it's an embarrassment to our community. And so, I call on him to resign, along with 200 people I represent. Thank you.
And the next person on the agenda is Mr. Charlie
Healy.
Healy.
Yes, I'll hold off until later on.
Okay. And the next one is our student representative to the council, Mrs. Sandra Vogel. Sandra Vogel.
Hello, I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. And I was just told that if I'd like to speak at any point during the meeting, that I should let everyone be aware of the points that I would like to possibly speak about. I'm not sure exactly what everyone's going to say, can't predict the future, but there's a few things that I would just like to point out, specifically, if I'm allowed to do that right now. Okay. Under Activities Committee, I just would, in the motions to approve a few trips, depending on how that goes, I would just like to talk about that. And then also, in the Finance Committee, point number 5 with the student activity accounts. Again, depending on what's said, I would like to possibly advocate for those different groups. And then under Personnel Committee, points 1 and 3, when that comes. And I would just like to say thank you again for letting me serve as your student representative, and I look forward to the rest of the meeting.
For those of you who are not aware, Ms. Vogel was selected for this by the board a number of months ago, and I think this is your second time speaking to us, but thank you very much. Okay, we'll move ahead. Consent calendar. I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes, expenditures, travel reports,